So in this video, we provide a brief overview of project management. But before we get started, let me mention that we've got free project management certification prep materials if you're interested over at projectprep.org. Okay, so in this video, we answer a few questions. The first, what is a project and what is project management? And then we'll talk about what agile project management is, probably the most common type of project management these days, and also programs and portfolios. And then finally, at the end, we'll cover how you get into project management if you'd like to do so. Okay, so here's the first question. What is a project? So in organizations, we work on processes, which are ongoing. We pretty much do them the same way every time, and projects, which are temporary. They have a start and they have a finish. So an example is a process in our business might be to ship orders. We pretty much do them the same way every day. And a project, which is temporary, might be building a website. We're not going to build a new website all the time. We might maintain it, but it's going to be a project to just get it stood up. So some other example projects might be to create a smartphone application, design a video game, build and launch a rocket or clean up a hazardous waste site, build a website, and construct a road. Obviously, there's lots more example projects, but these are things that don't last forever. They typically have a start and they have a finish, and we manage them differently than we would a process. Okay, so here's the next question. What is project management? So it involves working to deliver projects on budget, on schedule, and on scope. That's our goal, to take these temporary initiatives and achieve these three targets. Now here's an example of that. We might have a project where the scope or the work we plan to accomplish is to build a 2-story office building that has 100 cubicles. The schedule might be 15 months, and the budget might be $2.5 million. Now in project management, we often refer to these three things as the triple constraint of project management: cost, schedule, and scope. So here's an example of why we call it that. So imagine us taking the scope side of the triangle and extending it by adding more work. If you think about the principles of geometry, the sides for cost and schedule have to change too. So if we add scope, we necessarily have to adjust cost and or schedule. And so we're always monitoring these three things to make sure we stay on cost, on schedule, and on scope. Now, a project manager is the person who leads the project team, and they're measured on whether they achieve these targets of cost, schedule, and scope. Some of the activities we might perform in project management might be to develop schedules, estimate costs, define scope, acquire resources, and identifying risks. So now let's talk about what agile project management is. Now in project management, we have two common types of methodologies, or the ways in which we do our work. There's waterfall and there's agile. On our waterfall project, we perform project phases once. You do all of your planning, then all of your designing, then all of your construction, and so on. So this keeps things under control, but can also take a long time before you actually launch or deliver something at the end. Now, an example of when this might be used is when you're building a fighter jet. You can't really deliver the fighter jet in small pieces. You've got to deliver it all at the end. You've got to wait until it's finished before you can fly it. And the problem with this is that at the end of those few years, or maybe more, that fighter jet may no longer be needed. It may have just taken too long from start to finish. Now in agile projects, it's a little bit different. Rather than delivering everything at the end, we're delivering the project in small increments, one piece at a time. And having frequent deliveries allows us to build momentum and morale. It gets the team, the stakeholders, the sponsor excited about the work. They can see it progressing. One way to look at this, or to think about it, is, again, in waterfall, we're delivering all at once, and in agile, we're delivering it in small pieces. So an example agile project might be to create an e-commerce website. We deliver this in a few pieces, or sprints, as it's often referred to in agile in this example. So the first sprint or increment is to build a basic website, and then after that, a couple weeks later, we set up payment, and then a couple weeks after that, we build the mobile application, have that ready to go. So we're delivering this thing in small pieces and just building it up, adding to it over time. Again, that builds momentum, morale, excitement. It keeps things going and allows you to make some adjustments, because maybe if you wait until the end of the project to deliver everything, maybe things have changed so much that it's not really helpful or needed. So now let's talk about programs and portfolios, a related topic. So these can be used to organize and group your projects. You don't need to have them, but they can help add efficiencies. So you might have a group of projects that are part of a bigger program, and then a group of projects and programs that are part of a larger portfolio. And you can also think about them this way. You have a portfolio up the top with a strategic objective, and you have programs and projects which help fulfill that objective, whatever it is. And then as you work on the projects, reporting goes up, and then you get portfolio level reporting. Now here's an example of a portfolio. You might have a portfolio of printers, if you sell those, with an overall objective to increase revenue and market share for your printers. Now you might have processes in that portfolio, just normal ongoing activities to make ink cartridges. Then you might have a project to design a new 3D printer. And then you might also have a program. So this portfolio has processes, projects, and programs. And now the program might be to build analytics dashboards, and you have a lot of different dashboards that you're putting together. Now the difference between a portfolio and a program is that a program has to have projects that are similar. A portfolio doesn't. The projects can be different as long as they help fulfill the same objective. And now one of the benefits of managing these projects or programs as a portfolio is that we can take resources at a higher level and decide which programs, projects, and processes make most sense to invest in, and which ones really help us achieve the objective of the portfolio. Okay, let me finish by talking about how you get into project management if you'd like to do so. So the first thing we want to point you toward is a video and a cheat sheet we have on our website, 10 tips for getting a job in project management. The link is also below in the video description. Now, one of the tips we provide is to learn project management tools to be able to add that to your resume. One of the tools we suggest is Microsoft Project, and we've got a video and a cheat sheet that walks you through how to use it and teaches you how to build a cost and a schedule estimate of the tool. The other thing that we want to mention is that a tip that we give is to get a project management certification, or either a PMP or a CAPM. On our site, we've got a lot of free prep materials to help you get ready for those. So cheat sheets, full-length practice tests, note cards, lots more. One other suggestion too is if you're interested in certifications even beyond project management, one we suggest is a Lean Six Sigma certification. Project management and Lean Six Sigma pair well together, and the combination of those certifications look good on a resume. So if you're interested, there's a free white belt certification course through our sister organization, SixSigmaSociety.org. If you take the course, at the end of it, you'll get the certificate.